morning and welcome to the Cheltenham Exchange. He said the Welsh Exchange, but it pretty much is. Not right there. We've got fellow North Walian, the Queen of Wales, Jamie's just called her, Katie Midwinter, and of course the legend that is Jaime Wrenn. Thank you both very much for joining us, honouring us with your presence. We look forward to some fantastic insight tonight. And we've got the good stuff out the way. We've got a full team of, we won't go into any descriptions. We've got a full team from the Exchange. Alex, Ian Rainman, Paddy Luke, and Jonathan Evans. Full squad here to learn off Katie and Jaime tonight. So we are going to be looking at Trials Day at Cheltenham. Bonus day on Saturday with a massive card, 9 races with the rearranged Cleeve Hurdle amongst others. And I'm not going to witter on as I normally do. I've promised to keep it short and sweet because there's a big team tonight. So hope you enjoy and we'll get straight into it. Opening race, Triumph Hurdle Trial, Grade 2, 2 mile 1 furlong. And we'll have to start off with Miss Midwinter, if possible, please.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, lads. I'm looking forward to this card. I'm a big fan of Scriptwriter, and I fancy him for the Triumph, so I have to stick with him here. You'd think he'd need to be coming close to have a decent chance in the Triumph in March. The ground is my main concern with him, currently described as soft. The forecast is quite dry, so I'm hoping it won't be too bad for him. You know, he's got a lovely pedigree. He was with Aidan O'Brien. He was decent on the flat. And he's done really well since switching disciplines. And Milton Harris is very bullish about this horse. He's saying that, you know, he could be better, well, is better than Night Salute, who has turned out to be a Grade 1 winning hurdler. And yeah, so I'm going to stick with him. He's a horse that I really like. I was there at the November meeting when he won a Grade 2. The course form, it gives me a bit more confidence, and it's Scriptwriter for me.
Scriptwriter for Milton Harris. Alex, I'm sure you like that one.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Scriptwriter for me. Quite interesting that to see that he ran over the flat, didn't he, at Wolves last time out, and he bolted up there as well. So he's clearly in good order. And yeah, I mean, I think currently best price about 4-1. So happy to get stuck in there.
Get stuck in. Oof, promising.
GSI.
Well, at this moment, we have to cross over that Irish Sea. It's Mr. Red, special guest extraordinaire.
It's Scriptwriter for me too. My only worry about Scriptwriter legs is the ground. Will he get stuck on the ground? A bit tacky, but I suppose the better the ground, the first race. So, like, the form is there with Perseus Way. It's probably the best form on offer from the Brits this year. The only horse that I fancy otherwise is obviously the Jupiter de Geet. Great time in Newbury, but sure, he got all his own way in front the last day, didn't he? I can't have comfort zone. Like, you got to have a British mark of 131. They're surely going to be protecting his mark after that. Like, it has to give £7 to Dixon Cove compared to £3 the last day. So I think Dixon Cove reversed the form there. But I just thought that finale was just a crap race, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, it's Scriptwriter for me. Will he or win the Triumph? Not a hope. But will it be placed? Maybe. That's just my opinion.
Thank you very much, sir. So 3 for Scriptwriter so far. Ian's going to nail me if I forget to say we've got odds running along the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Worked hard on him today.
Remembered. Thank you, Jaime. So, Dixon Cove was mentioned there. Matty.
Yeah, obviously I agree Jupiter Beat was impressive last time out at Newbury. However, he wasn't well fancied that day going off the SP of 66-1. It'd be interesting to see if he can back that up, which he may well do. Comfort zone won last time out against Dixon Cove by neck. Obviously, I'm sweet on Dixon Cove. She seems to be dropped, I don't know if I read it wrong, dropped £5, finishing in next second. She also finished 2.25 lengths ahead of Perseus Way as well, which Jaime just mentioned with the form of Scriptwriter. And I rewatched the race back earlier, and she got a bit outpaced. Comfort zone travelled a hell of a lot stronger than that day. but she stayed on really well, and I think she's going to absolutely relish the hill. I think at 100 to 30, I think it's a great bet. So Dixon Cove for me, yeah.
Going against the tide. Thank you, Matty. John?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough start to the day, to be honest with you, with the top 4 in the market all under 4 to 1, I think, at the moment, aren't they? So, it's a bit of a stick of pin in, really, and to see who's trying and see who's trying to get a Boodles mark for me. Now, I'm going to side with Comfort Zone here, because originally I had him down as a Boodles candidate. Now, JP's got 3 that could possibly go in the Boodles, which is Takao, Common Practice, and Comfort Zone. Now, Common Practice didn't get an entry in the Triumph, so he'll probably be a Boodles one. So it's got to be one of the other 2 that I think he's aiming for the Triumph. Now, if Comfort Zone wins this, obviously, I think it'll be the Triumph for it. So I think that's why they've put him in here, to see if he handles this test. And if he does, maybe he's the one that will go Triumph, and he'll keep the other 2 for the Boodles. He's already beaten Dixon Cove, as already mentioned, although there is a weight difference this time. I think she gets an extra £5 off him. So, that might even it up a little bit. But he did travel well in that race. And hopefully he's got, these juveniles improve, don't they, as the season goes along. So hopefully he keeps improving. I think Jupiter de Gite is the interesting one, but I just don't know if I trust that form of his at Newbury, where it was in deep ground and he won by 15 lengths or so. I just don't know if I can trust that form. I mean, he could be anything, but I'm sort of willing not to go with him, and see if he can repeat it again on Saturday. So I'm going to go with Comfort Zone in this one.
Comfort Zone for John. Thank you very much, sir. Right, before you start, keep it brief.
I'm lucky that John has basically said a lot of what I was going to say. The only thing I'll add is that, when Comfort
There's
Zone,
no Nicky Henderson horse in this Triumph, so he won't be able to tip a horse.
Jaime, there's no Henderson horses for me in all my. But I'm going to start with Johnny and go with Comfort Zone as well. I see one in Maiden Hurdle at Navan, beating Jazzy Matty and Takao, and obviously they've gone on to win both their next races. Takao is near the top of the betting for the Boodles. Comfort Zone then bumped into Lossiemouth at Perry House in December. I think it was 6 1/4 lengths win. So obviously Lossiemouth's come out to win since. And see the guys touched on about beating Dixon Grove in
Dixon Grove,
Perseus, not Perseus way. And to say that I think one of the big factors is that Comfort Zone has most of his recent runs and wins have been on soft ground, so definitely that'd be an issue. As the guys have said, scriptwriter may struggle with the ground, and that's about it. So I also put Jupiter de Gite, maybe the surprise package, because we don't know much about the horse, and I think it was a freak win or what it was when it won. But Comfort Zone for me, OJ.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Comfort Zone for Ian and John, Dixon Cove for Matty, and 3 on scriptwriter. We have Katie, Jaime, and Alex. Thank you, folks. Moving swiftly along, 12, and Class 2 Novice Handicap Chase just over 2.5 miles, 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs. Where are we going? Jaime, you can kick us off this time.
I suppose the obvious one to start with OJ's as well. Fire Dancer went up £6 from the last day. Charlie Deutsch was that race in Ludlow, wasn't it, when he stopped riding and barely won? So I think the mark should have been higher than £6. What's he, 11 to 4, 3 to 1? I really like a horse in here each way. Do they like Gino? Is it? Are you all right, Gino? I think this horse is crying up for a step out and trip. It's been run over 2 miles. Has form behind all the right horses. Haddock says Obo being one. A horse that Matty likes, Frere Darm, behind him at Newbury with Auckland Risk. And it was second in the April meeting to Faraway Green, is it? In the November meeting, went out in front. So I think if this horse goes out in front, gets a rhythm and goes with Fire Dancer, 11, 12 to 1 each way, that's the bet for me. And it's
great stuff. Thank you, Jaime. John, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, this is another tricky one, very competitive race again. And I think me and Matty had a chat before, and I don't think we believe we're going to put this one up. But I'm going to go for Stage Star, which I'm not really a great fan of.
Oh my God!
I know. But he's like a second season novice now, so he's had a little bit more practice than a few of these other ones over the big ones. Now he's had one trip to Cheltenham last year where he was pulled up, but that was in the Turners. So this is obviously a little bit more of a simpler task than that last year. But this year he seems to have come on with his fences, and he seems to have taken them a lot better. He jumped well. I know it was only a 2-horse race last time, and there was no pressure on him whatsoever. But he jumped really well. He travels nicely. I just thought he was quite eye-catching, and I'm willing to have a go on him. I think he's about 9-2, isn't he? So you could do the old filthy each way on him. But yeah, I think he'll go well in this.
I won't get much for my 50p each way there, would I?
You get your 50p back. Back.
Fair enough. Stage Star for John. Alex?
I don't really like any of the ones towards the top of the market, so I'm going to side with an outsider. One I've looked at before, a horse called Fernhill, currently best price of 20-1. I'm willing to forgive his most recent run at Kempton. He finished quite far down the order, but he was jumping left and he jumped pretty poorly throughout, which is pretty uncharacteristic of him. Prior to that, he'd had a second at Chepstow, and the horse that won that race, one of Fergal O'Brien's, has gone on one since. And after that, he then ran at Uttoxeter and he beat a horse called Super Survivor. And that's the horse that won the race at Chepstow on Welsh National Day when Mr. Coffee was in the race. They had Ballymore, Oscar Lee, quite a few good horses in there. So I think he's still progressive. I think he's still got a lot of juice on that mark of 140. And I think if he hadn't run so poorly at Kempton, I don't think he'd be 20-1. And because he jumped left, which isn't really a problem at Cheltenham, willing to forgive him that.
I backed Fernhill just after around Christmas. I can't remember why I'd read something. I don't know what it was.
I was probably talking a lot of rubbish after I'd have you beers, probably. So that's probably why you heard it.
Could have been.
All the shite Guinness you'll get over in England.
Yeah.
And Wales.
Better than no Guinness, though.
And Wales.
Okay. Katie, what do you like here?
I'm quite keen on Fire Dancer here. I think, he's going to be one of my stronger fancies on the day. I was quite interested in him last time out. Thought he was a really interesting recruit for the yard, especially running in the Ritchie colours. And you'd expect he'll be well backed come Saturday. I think he probably needed the run at Ludlow. It was his first run in well over 2 years. Got a little bit nervy at the end, but he held on. That was also his first run after a wind-up. So this is his second run after wind-up. It's usually the time I like to back a horse. I think it's often when they can show a lot of improvement. So, he could be much sharper this time around. And I'd say he's pretty well handicapped. As Jaime was saying, he could have gone up a few more pounds for his win at Ludlow. My only concern is the stable form. Nisha Williams been a bit quiet in the recent weeks. Most of the horses have been well beaten. Haven't quite been firing as much as they usually do. But I think Fire Dancer should be good enough and well handicapped to get the job done. I think Malinello is going to be the biggest danger. I think he's quite unexposed over this trip as a chaser. 2 runs over fences. Made a bad mistake last time, didn't he? Dropped £1 for that. Probably a horse that can show tons of improvement as well, but I'm going to stick with Fire Dancer.
Thank you very much. Fire Dancer won't mind it soft, I'd probably guess, especially if it's a Venetia horse.
The one thing that did worry me, I looked at Fire Dancer first, but it was just maybe a bounce factor perhaps after being off for so long and getting red. That was the only one thing that put me off him, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just the bounce factor. But hopefully he goes well.
You've had your say.
I know, I just forgot to add that in.
Yeah. Lie down, Johnny.
Well, that was a good time to go in, wasn't it?
Typical West Ham fan. Someone says something, then he's blowing bubbles after it. See, me and Casey know the same trick because we're United fans because we're used to winning things.
Oh, here we go.
When was the last time you won something?
7 years
2017.
ago.
What's wrong with that? When's the last
Okay.
time West Ham's won something?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Oh God, even worse. Do you know I'm an ABC fan, Alex? Anyone but Chelsea. Oh,
That's not very
oh my
nice.
God, it's after you're after getting more. It's after getting worse now. I'm going away.
I'm liking that. I'm liking that. The only, we won't
Write
get
that one down, OJ.
we won't get into football. It's only anyone but Arsenal and then Chelsea. Right. Speaking of West Ham, then go on, Rayman.
Funny enough, that Katie's just mentioned one of my picks said it's going to be Malinello. I was trying to find something that was potentially could beat the. I know Stage Star is the classy horse has got 12 stone. Unexpected Party carrying 11-12. Could he be going out for a spin maybe to try and get the market a bit lower? So I come across Malinello. So won a 2-mile 7 chase at Newcastle on soft ground at the end of November. Son of Som, who was third, has come out and won since. Was then third at Newbury. So what Katie was mentioning, clumped the last and that basically cost him the race, but was beaten by a horse called T for Free, who has won all 4 of their races this season. I looked at Ben Pauling's forms. He's 40% wins over chases, which is quite good. And so 5 wins this month. And I believe when we spoke to Kaylin that Luca Morgan is the top. I know he doesn't carry anything, but he's the top conditional jockey at the minute. So it could be a factor for me. But see, I'll go with Malinello.
Malinello. Thank you very much, Ian. And Matty, wrap it up for us, mate.
Yeah, John's already mentioned it. We spoke about it earlier. I can't believe I'm putting this also up. I fucking hate it. But it's Stage Star, Paul Nicholls. Again, his latest start was only a 2-runner race at Plumpton, but he went out in front, he jumped well, and I'm hoping similar tactics will be adopted here because there seems to be a few that like to race prominently. I'm hoping his jumping can put a few of them under pressure. So at 9-2, he's my bet in the race.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Okay, so John and Matty on Stage Star. Alex, a nice price, Fernhill. Ian on Malinello. And Katie and Jamie both on Fire Dancer for Venetia Williams. Thank you, folks. I'm burning up here. If I pass out, just chuck me an aspirin or something.
Or another beer.
That red wine.
Jamie put a different horse up.
That's all right, Gino. Each way, OJ.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long ago. I've grown old, about 2 years older after you've
Grown a beard since.
Oh, there you
OJ's
go.
had a couple more bottles of wine since then.
That's why he's burning up.
That's
hot
all right,
toddy for
Gino.
OJ. It's
Right. Okay, less said about that, the better. Moving swiftly on. To the cross country at 12:40. Delta work in here. Matty, come on. You can kick us off.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'm going to have a bet. I've been toying. Delta Works, the class horse, whether he can carry 12 stone round here when you think he's just going for a spin for the main event in March. So I'm not going to be touching him. I don't think I'll be overly hard on him. The one that I have sort of looked at is Foxy Jacks. Available around about 9-1. Finished 6 lengths third to Delta Work and singing banjo at Punchestown over the banks in November. It's just about an each way play at 9-1, but I'm tempted to just go and have a win only bet on him because he'll either, if he goes and wins it, or he'll be fucking stone last or something.
Positivity.
Always positive.
Always positivity. Thank you, Matthew. Rayman.
I'm going to be pretty boring, actually. I'm going to go with Delta Work. 12 stone, but it's got Rob James claiming 7. I think it should be too good for these. The one I will say is one of our old favourites is Singing Banjo. So despite being 13, still got a good record at Cheltenham. So we're second at Punchestown behind Delta Work last time out, but beating the short head. I believe Singing Banjo has been carrying a feather this time, 10 stone 3, and he's got Walsh the Claimer take another £7 off. So it could be a massive factor. And I do need to, one of my old favourites, Diesel de l'Allier. I need to mention him.
No, you don't.
Got a cracking record at Cheltenham. So since 2019, he's had 2 wins, a 3rd, and 2 4th places. My only concern is it's his first time out for the season. So Delta work for me, but definitely keep an eye on Singing Banjo with the featherweight.
And Diesel de l'Allier.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Any more you want to check?
3.
Yeah.
I won't
Sorry.
mention back on the lash.
Sorry.
You just did.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to side with Delta Work, I just think at the weight, it's a bit wrong this time, isn't it? I mean, Ian's already said what I was going to say about Singing Banjo, so he's stolen my thunder a bit there.
Sorry,
I
mate.
mean, I think he only got £7 last time. This time he gets £3 shy of 2 stone, so it's a big difference, that, isn't it? So I think he's the each-way play at 13-2. I mean, this race will have no reflection on March whatsoever, will it? Because this is a handicap and that's off level. So there's obviously some good value there down the card, isn't there? The one I am interested in is just seeing how he goes on his first spin. Is Deisha Abba. He's a horse that I liked over fences, so I'm just interested to see how he gets on. But for the purpose of this, it's Singing Banjo each way for me.
He's an old favourite of Connor's, wasn't he? Deisha.
Yeah, me and Connor always liked him. Yeah,
In the Hemmings colours, wasn't it?
yeah.
That's right. Lovely. Thank you, John. We'll go over to Jaime and see if I can get the selection right this time.
Remember his pick this time.
Break it up, Jaime. Get here.
Sacked. Yeah, it all depends. Like, I don't think Delta Work will be fully tuned up for this, and obviously getting £7 off from Rob James is a massive help. The 2 I came down on, well, I can't believe I backed this horse blind all the time, is Plan of Attack. It's getting a lot of weight from Delta Work. Finished 3rd at the festival in that crap monsoon on the day in Cheltenham. I think the better ground, hopefully in the inside cross-country track, will help him. The one was very interesting to me is that Patrick Mullins is booked for a horse for Patrick Griffin called Roy Mage, and he ran the last day in the Savile Chase at Tremor behind Statler and Melilla Indo. This horse was 2.5 lengths beaten in a listed Compagnie cross-country chase race there a couple of months ago, and I thought it was very interesting that Patrick Mullins has been booked for this. So whatever price it comes up for, I will back that each way, and it's Roy Mage. Take a punt on it.
Roy Mage.
Yep.
Definitely Roy Mage. I've got it this time.
You get 10-1 at the moment, Jamie.
10-1, yeah, that'll do me each way. Patrick Mullins booked.
Thank you, Jaime. Alex, coming to you.
Just basically copy and paste what the lad said about Singing Banjo. The weight swing against Delta Work is pretty significant to me. Then the only other one I'd probably give an each way squeak to at a bigger price might be Mortal. I know he's a bit of a nutcase, but he was 4th in one of the cross country races at Cheltenham. I think it was December 21. He ran pretty well, slipped up on the bend nearly, and then still finished 4th. So I mean, I might give him a little each way squeak, but yeah, main bet would probably be each way on Singing Banjo.
Singing Banjo. Thank you very much. And Katie, if you'd like to finish off and give us the winner.
Well, I do echo the thoughts of the lads on Singing Banjo. Cross-country specialist, and the weight swing is really significant. I do think Delta Work will be better this time out, though, for his pipe opener. He was really impressive in a bog here at the festival last year, as we know. But what impressed me a lot was his run in the Grand National. He carried a big weight there. I didn't expect him to run as well as he did, and I think that was on soft ground, so it shouldn't be too bad for him. I don't think he needs it to testing. I had a look at Snow Leopardess. I think she will improve for the switch back to like cross country fences. She ran a really strange race at Sandown in the Veterans Handicap on and off the bridle, but I think she would need it much softer than it currently is. I think Rob James is a good £7 claimer. He rides as a pro, and I think Delta Work should have enough class to see this through, and he's probably my nap of the festival at this point. So I'm keen to see him run well. And if he is beaten, hopefully he'll just be tuned for the festival. I think he'll be a good bet there.
Diolch yn fawr. Down to work for Katie. Singing banjo. Close up behind for Alex and John. Plan of attack. No, we haven't. Sorry. Roy Marsh.
I think Jamie's wrong.
He's definitely getting the sack.
I was just testing.
And I was just about to say, OJ, you're the only one who actually tipped a decent horse all year in Zanza at 14-1, and I was just about to soup you up and all.
I haven't had the winner since. And,
That's true.
Delta for you as well, wasn't it, Ian? I do believe.
Yes.
Good. That was easy enough. Right. Clarence House. 20 past
Should
1.
be quick.
Yeah.
Should be quick. So everybody's on sizing pots here.
Yeah, 200 to 1.
200 to 1.
I think he'll finish in the top 6.
Good shout.
That's a brave shout, that one.
Yeah.
Places. Go on then, Katie. You've just volunteered to go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for size and Potsy. It's not a race I'd be having a bet in. I think the market's going right. Energumin is clearly the one to beat. I'd like to go for Edwardstone, but I think he's got it to prove against Energumin. Energumin he's done practically nothing wrong in his career to date, beaten by Shishkin, who I love and I think is really special, has got his issues now, unfortunately. But I think, Energumin is going to take all of the beating. If Edwardstone does bring his A game, then it would be good to see him, give him a challenge. But otherwise, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward for Energumin, and then all roads lead to the Champion Chase again.
Champion Chase. Lovely. Alex, I'm guessing you may think it's a bit tighter than that.
Yeah, I'm going to side with Edwardstone. First thing I want to say, though, is I think it's great that we're getting to see these two horses against each other this early in the season. Normally, we wouldn't see it till March, would we? So, probably the best two-mile chaser either side of the Irish Sea. I'm going to stick with Edwardstone. I thought he was brilliant in the Tingle Creek. I thought he was brilliant at Cheltenham in the Arkle. I mean, I followed him for most of the year, so I've got to stick with him. Like Katie said, he's got it all to prove that he can be as good as Energumin. But I'm going to stick with him, mostly because I think I'd be more annoyed if I didn't back him and he won than if I don't back him and if I back him and he loses. So more of a head than a heart bet, the heart than head bet.
Thank you, Alex. John?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really taken to Edwardstone, have I? And the only time I backed him, he unseated, so that didn't help my cause either, did it really? So, yeah, it's Energumin all over for me. I do like him. I liked him last year, and like the guys have said, I just think he's the one to beat, isn't he, in this? And the prices are correct, and it should be a good race. I'm looking forward to the race. It's definitely a no-bet race, isn't it? Just watch it. Although, if you look at size in Potsy, 3 places on Bet365, he's 160 to 1. So you never know. There might be a couple of fallers, and he might pop in third. Someone's got to be third.
Yeah,
25 pence each way.
Yeah, get your 50p on that.
Patty? Energumin.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's a no-bet race. Sit back, enjoy and watch. Hope it's a clash it can be. I was keen on Edwardstone for the Arkle last year. Same as Alex. If he runs to the form of his Tingle Creek, he could make a race of it, and then it might go either way. But I think Energumin just takes the beating in this, doesn't he? I think he's IGA's levels above Edwardstone, to be honest. But
people keep saying that, and he keeps proving them wrong.
No, it's just I love the horse. I just think Energumin's a different beast to him. Don't get me wrong. If Edwardstone wins, I'll be well made of him, but no bet.
Bringing Energumin's price out, wouldn't it? Be perfect.
Thank you. Jamie?
I'm with Alex here. I'm going with Edwardstone. I'm going with Edwardstone.
No way.
You traitor.
Well, I won't be backing Edwardstone for the champion chase, but I'm backing him. I'll be backing an Ergamine. But no, for the track bias is for me, lads. I think this Open, the new course, will suit Edwardstone more. And you could have a burn up front with Edward Size and Potsy, Funaban, Savola. Like, they're going to set a monster gallop. And I think this will suit Edwardstone. It didn't suit him at Kempton, but I thought he was too far behind at Kempton. Where I think the track at Cheltenham, he's made up at Cheltenham. He loves Cheltenham. And I think if the day Edwardstone is going to beat an Ergamine is Saturday, but moving to the old track then in March, an Ergamine will beat him. But I think if Edwardstone has any chance of beating Ergamine, it's the weekend, and I'm going with Edwardstone. Yeah.
And will that then affect the market for the champion chase?
I think it will. They'll go closer together, but an Ergamine will beat him in March.
Or you could just back the double now.
Back to double now.
Edwardstone Saturday and Ergamine March.
Roll up.
Little roll up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wrenn.
Roll up.
And finishing off, Ian, I'm taking it you're back in Shishkin.
Yeah, an Ergamine for me, not really much else to add. I think, as Jaime said, it looks like Editor Tegeet will make the run in. Similar to Champion Chase, Townhead will probably just sit off a bit, 3rd or 4th place, and go from there. So the unseats for Edwardstone worried me a bit. I'm similar to Johnny. I've never really taken to him, and the only time I backed him, he unseats. But I just think an Ergamine will have too much, and he'll win here and at the festival for me.
I thought he was going to say Shishkin's the biggest cert of all time for the Ryanair.
He's already lumped, Jamie. He's already lumped.
Oh, he's lumped on. I know he has.
He has, yeah.
Lumped on.
Thank
He'll
you,
go past
folks.
the stand. Ian will be crying when he goes past the stands.
What, when he's 40 lengths behind?
When he pulled up and Nico
I'll be back
Devine
in
will,
2 minutes.
hey, he's retired.
Oh, Matty's gone. Matty's
Fair
gone.
enough.
He said he'd be back in 2 minutes.
Is that enough? Okay, so an Ergamine gets the overall vote. So Katie, Matty, John, and Ian on an Ergamine.
Matty was Edwardstone. Oh no, was he? I knew he was an
No, Alex was on his old favourite Edwardstone, and Jamie was on Finn and Bale's Cibola. Sorry. Good joke.
I'd definitely be broke if I was in him.
Okie dokie. 150.
Ooh.
Paddy Power. Cheltenham Podcast Handicap Chase. Just over 2.5 miles. Matty, kick us off. We go right up. Moving swiftly along. Ian, come on, you haven't started.
I'll go first if you like.
Come on.
Let me put the old things up.
Thanks, Matty.
Apologies about that. I had to go and
That's
sort
right.
something out.
Here we go. Right, so I'm going to go with Carl Philippe or Felipe for Fergal O'Brien. So currently carrying 11.3. We'll have Jack Hogan on board taking 5 off. It's got a good record in 2022. Not out the top 2 in his 5 races. One at the distance and the going at Ludlow in twice in Class 3 races. One at Wetherby in November. Funny enough, say OJ's favourite horse beat Zanza by 1 3/4 lengths, and obviously Zanza went on to win at Newbury, as we all know. OJ picked it on our video.
Oh, yeah.
Last time out, Carl Felipe was beaten by a horse called Paddy Pie, but he was carrying 10 stone 2 that day and beaten 2 1/4 lengths. So it's going to be Carl Felipe for me.
Thank you, Ian. Where are we going? John.
Yeah, I mean, first thing I want to say is if like 18 months ago you'd said All Mankind was 33-1 for a race like this, you'd think I was crazy. He's like, just, we were talking about him before, he's slipped down, 11 pounds since his old Roan Chase win. Now, I don't think he's one for this race, but he's definitely one to watch for a festival because his mark's just slipping and slipping, and he's going to pop up at some point, isn't he? And like we were saying before, he's been running all sorts of distances and things, and yeah, if they get him back to 2 miles, maybe then that might be one for March. But yeah, my choice in this one is I'm going for a perennial loser in this one, which is Guy. Now, he always finishes second if you look at his form. I think he's finished second 7 times out of 11 races, but he's always up there. And one of these days, he's gonna land one of these. The trouble is, because he's so consistent, he never gets any leeway from a handicapper. I think he's only dropped a pound again, so he's just been round about the same mark for about 18 months now. But I think he's got a decent claimer on. Jordan Naylor takes 3 off. He's pretty good. But I just think he's a good, solid each way bet in this. I just think he's one for your exactor, isn't he? So Guy for me in this one, please.
What a guy.
What a guy. Hopefully he is a guy.
A guy for John. Okay. Swiftly across the Irish Sea to Mr. Wrenn again, then, please.
Oh, this is a tough bloody race, to put it that way. I can't understand why Redito, who I bought into for a long time, doesn't stay 2.5 miles, and Paul Nicholas seems to be completely persistent with the trip. Like, surely this horse will end up in the Grand Annual, and off 138, it'll run well in the Grand Annual. For me, I'm going for an absolute, what do they call it, a worldie here, and it's Precious Eleanor, 25-1 each way. The only reason I'm going for this horse because there's course form, 1 in April off 124, and has been dropped by the handicapper back to 128. Absolutely beat Little River Ray by 15 lengths in April. So that's me. Tom O'Brien's on it. Henry Daly. I don't really fancy anything in the race, so I'm going to take a stab on Precious Eleanor with the course form.
That's the sort of price I like. That's the sort of price I like.
Hey, mine was 16.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, John?
Katie.
Mine was 16.
I beat you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did just.
Katie, I think you might have one that you like in here for thinking further afield as well.
Well, I think there's lots of chances in here. Il Ridotto, for me, still has to prove himself over this trip. I think Fugitive has obvious claims if he can replicate that Chepstow run, but £10 rise, it puts me off slightly. I think, Your Darling is a horse that I like, but I don't think the give in the ground will suit him. And he was pulled up in his only appearance here. There's 2 that have caught my eye. I think Phoenix Ray has some potential off his current mark. He is £2 higher than his last win, but I think he could be one that could sneak into the places at a decent price. But I'm going to go for Spirit of the Games. I know he's not won in a while, but I think, his day is going to come eventually. He's a frustrating
I've
horse.
lost all respect for you, Katie.
No, stick with it.
You actually took Matty's thunder, because I guarantee you Matty's going to tip him.
Sorry, Matty. But no, he's just so frustrating, and he's like a bit of a cliff horse for me now. It seems like he always runs well enough, so his mark doesn't go down too much. He doesn't get much leeway, but he just never seems to be able to get his head in front. I don't know if he has the tenacity to be able to do it, or if he just weakens in the closing stages. He hasn't got it in him. I'm not sure, but one day he's going to win, and I'm going to have to be on him. So I'm going to stick with him. I will just say, I think Cool Cody for me is a horse that I usually back, especially at Cheltenham, but he's going to be one that I'm going to be back in March. Yeah, exactly. I don't think this is the race for him. So we got Spirit of the Games. He's going to do it one time.
And you'll be ringing Jaime up straight away when he does.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You'll have to eat your words, Jaime.
Thank God you're a United fan.
The man on the spot. Come on, Alex.
Well, I also like one of Fergal's, but I'm going to side with Silver Hallmark.
Yes.
I was there at Chepstow when he finished third behind a Fugitive and Golden Whiskey. He was only beaten 7 lengths. He's come down the handicap for a pound for that, which to me seems pretty fair. They sort of went past him up the straight, and then he battled back. So, I mean, I think the extra furlong plus then the stiff finish at the Cheltenham Hill could be right up his street. And I think at 16-1 each way, I think it's a nice squeak.
I like that.
So that was me opening my can.
I like.
But do you think with the mark, Alex, that like with Fugitive, they're surely not going to win the weekend with Fugitive, and like he's at 1-4-3. They're obviously going to preserve the handicap mark, so he has to have a chance then instead of a hall mark. Is that where you're getting at?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't think either of them would have a chance at the festival. So, I mean, this would probably be their Gold Cup, wouldn't it? So,
yeah, true. Yeah,
one of their big races for the year. So,
I'm
really happy to. Yeah, I think you'd probably need to find something a lot more unexposed, wouldn't you, for a festival winner? So, I'd be happy to take a chance on one of them.
So Scottish.
Don't mention that.
Is that a hint there, Jaime?
There's nothing to be so Scottish in that plate by. Trust me on that one.
There you are. Ante-Post tip there from Jaime. Lump on. If it doesn't win, give him loads of abuse on Twitter.
Oh, do
there is one. There is one that will beat him in the plate.
Oh, here we go.
Go on.
Is it that horse that there was? Oh, Jaime, Matty was talking to us about this horse. He was saying it was absolutely laid out for the play. We looked at its record. It was 0 for 16 over her fences. 0 from 16. And Matty said he's being plotted for the play.
Hurricane Harvey.
He then ran the week later. And he
all for one race it is. No, only joking.
Oh, God.
What a dog.
He's definitely taking the piss out of you there, lad.
Right, thank you for all your selections. The time is ticking. We'll move on to.
You're not having
You've
mine.
done Matty's, have you?
You missed your chance. You weren't there. I'm joking, Matty. I was all set up. Left you till last to wind you up there.
That's not a problem, mate. I expected that, especially from you, and with Jaime being on as well. Yeah, he's not a bet on the weekend. Cool Cody, like Katie's already touched. He's £2 higher than when he won at the plate at the festival. I think he's out for a run just to drop another couple of pounds and then give him one last hurrah in March off his winning marker around 145. He's currently 40-1 for the plate, by the way. I do like Spirit of the Games, but I can't back him anymore for win purposes. He's going to be in a little place after for the day.
Was that right, Jim?
The horse I do like is Fugitive. He's 2 chase wins this season, finished a length and a half behind Amarillo Sky over 2 miles here in November. And then, as you pointed out, he won at Chepstow over 2 miles free. Where he won, he's down by 5 lengths. He's gone at £10 for that on the ratings. You're unsure whether they're keeping their eye out for another handicap, but it's 56k to the winner for this one. So I'm hoping today's the day. He did nicely enough. Gavin Shear keeps the ride on board here, and he's 11-2, so it's a win bet for me.
Win bet on Fugitive. Thank you, Matty.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not going to go and recap. If people want to pick them up, they can get them. Even though I know Jaime didn't Elder. What we will say is that everyone's hoping Spirit of the Games wins, so Katie can give Jaime a shitload on Twitter. Moving swiftly along because the clock is ticking. 2:25, Cotswold Chase, 3 miles, 1 furlong. Ahoy, Senor in here, John. Grand National winner, Noble Yates in here. Katie, go on. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a tough one. Interesting race. The top 2 in the market, you'd expect to battle it out. I was really impressed with Protector at Haydock, but I don't think he's unbeatable. And Noble Yates really surprised me when he went at Aintree last time out. He was just electric after that final fence. Crazy the way that he could quicken. So I haven't got that strong a fancy between them. So I'm going to take a chance on one of the others. And it is a bit of a heart bet, if I'm honest. But I'm going to go with Frodon, who's going to be a decent each way price, I'd imagine. I just love this horse. He's one of my favourites, and his jumping is usually impeccable. If you can get a nice lead, I think he could be difficult to peg back coming up that hill. You know, he is the old boy in this race, but he's got so much heart, and he could still have a Grade 2 winning performance in him. If he's anything near that win when he ran up down Royal last season, he's anything near that form, I think he's got a decent chance. But it will be tough to beat the top two in the market.
But if he does get to the front, that's what you see, isn't it? Leading all the way. Thank you very much. Alex.
I'm going to go with Protector Out. I've been sort of going back and forth between Protector Out and Noble Yates, and I finally settled on Protector Out. I'm not that convinced with Noble Yates' form from that race at Aintree, not the Grand National, but the race when he beat Dasher Drasher and John's favourite pig, Ahoy Senor. Beat like Sounds Rush and Sam Brown. I don't think there's particularly anything in that race that would really make me think, oh, this is definitely a Grade 1 Festival Cheltenham winner. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Protector Out. I think he's got very good form this year. And yeah, that's who I'm with, even though he's short price favourite.
Fancy him for Gold Cup?
No. Not at all. But I fancy him for this.
Ian?
Same for me. I echo what Alex has said. I'm going to go for Protector Out, and purely based on his previous Cheltenham forms. He's had 2 wins, a second, 2 thirds, including the Gold Cup race. You could say that his Betfair Chase win was a bit pony. Obviously, with Plutard pulling up, and some of the horses he beat, maybe not up to that grade, but yeah, I think Protector just shades it purely on course form for me. That was quick.
Thank you. John?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm going to say, don't you, Jay?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but I'm going to have to stick with him again, aren't I? Yeah, my favourite pig.
Good on you.
It's this is his moment. Surely it's got to be.
Yeah.
I just hope he can just run up to his Browns, run of last year. Then he's got half a chance, hasn't he? I was just looking then. Actually, he's 13-2, 3 places on Bet365, which I think I might play that actually instead with the extra place. I mean, if
do you think he'll finish the race, Johnny?
Well, yeah, he will. He'll finish. He likes the course, I reckon. Just hopefully Lucinda's sorted him out and he gives us a good run. But this is his last chance this time, I promise.
You said that last time.
I did say that last time, but this time I promise.
He's saying that since you started the channel.
He has, yeah.
I've got to keep sticking on him, haven't I? So Dave likes him as well, doesn't he?
Oh,
so he wins this and then wins the Stayers.
Well, that's what I said. He should have gone in the Stayers.
Yeah, he should be in the Stayers. He should be in the Stayers. I agree too.
He'd have a great chance in that. It's just a shame.
He'd have a right chance in the Stayers, Earl.
He will. I backed him at 33-1, but he didn't get the entry. But I cashed him out, so
yeah,
no loss. But yeah, I'm going to stick with him. Ahoy, senor!
Ahoy, senor! Batty?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm contemplated putting him up. Noble Yates isn't for me. I feel Aintree's is, of course. I know he beat Ahoy Senor Aintree in the season, but I think he's beatable in this race. He's 8-1 at present. I'm toying whether to back him win only, or I may look into seeing what price it is with the market betting without Protector Act, because Protector Act should be winning this if he wants to have any chance in the Gold Cup, in my opinion. But he's a cool horse and never catch right, so I'm going Ahoy Senor with John.
He gets £3 as well, Matthew. Vital.
It's not a confident selection, as you can see.
£10, you still wouldn't have a chance.
Go on then, Jamie.
I'm trying to picture this race out in my head, right? And I think no offense, Katie. I think Frodan won't have a chance because Ahoy Senor is going to pester her for the lead, and it all depends where Bryony positions Frodan, up the inside or on the outside. So if she goes up the inside, Ahoy Senor will have absolutely no chance because it needs to be on the inside. That's just my opinion. It all depends on pace. To be honest, yeah. I don't think Protectorate, I know it's a furlong shorter than the Gold Cup trip. They went dog slow last year in that Gold Cup, and he fell over the last. And that's still too furlong. I can't have him for love nor money. So I'm all over Noble Yates in this, all over him, because he's just a better stayer in the whole field. Obviously, you'd be slightly worried about the pace in the race of Frodan and Ahoy Senor, but if there's not that much of a pace, he would absolutely blitz Protectorate up the hill. So it's Noble Yates. Nap of the day for me.
Ooh, confident.
For the day.
He does seem to have the turn of foot, doesn't he?
It's the turn of foot. Protector is just a pure no-out
He did his
caliber.
last race, didn't he? Christ.
Yeah,
That's
so
Katie
it's
said, didn't she, after that last fence at Aintree?
no obligates for me.
Took off. Absolutely took off.
He's just a better stayer. That's just my opinion.
Bet of the day. Noble Yates for Jamie. Katie's on Frodon. Ahoy Senor for John and Matty. Everything
And a
crossed.
winner for me and Alex.
The winner for you and Alex. Protector.
You can do one of those bets, back him to win that and the Gold Cup then, Ian.
No,
I'll win the Gold Cup.
Give
Might
away
play.
some money, Johnny.
Surprised you didn't go with Deuce, Ian.
Oh, God, that old pig. Christ.
Protector won't even be placed in the Gold Cup.
No.
No, he won't. He'll win this though.
Right.
No.
He's got to win that, Alex, to
To have
warrant
any
any
chance to go.
sort of a chance for it, yeah.
1, 2, 3 for the Irish again. Yay!
Right. 3 o'clock. The rescheduled Cleeve Hurdle. There's only one man we can go to at this point. Mr. Evans, our leader.
Leader.
Come on, John.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on.
well, you know what I'm going for, don't you? I mean, we had the chat with Caelan Quinn the other day on the channel, and he said Botox has been working really well at home. He said the step up back to 3 miles will suit. He was 2 mile 4 last time, didn't really suit him now as he's got older. He wants the 3 miles. Obviously, Paisley's the big danger, but with Paisley, you just don't know what you're going to get from him, do you? But he's always been a bit like that. So, you know, he was impressive last time. I mean, I might even play the reverse forecast with the two, to be honest with you, Paisley and Botox. Interesting one is this gold tweet that's coming over from France. I've never even heard of that horse before, so it would be interesting to see what he can do. But I think he's a big price. But yeah, Botox has. I don't blame Caelan if it doesn't win.
Nice price.
Yeah, I backed him at 14s after that conversation the other night. I think he's 10s or 11s now.
Yeah.
So did
He
I.
was still get 11s, I think.
Yeah, I took the 14, so quite happy with that.
You haven't picked up on the bad news.
What bad news?
OJ's backed it.
Oh. Sorry, John.
He's got his 50p on it.
Oh, very
Cash
good.
out! Cash
Under the
out!
price sunk.
Dear me. Matty?
Yeah, it's quite simple for me, mate. Paisley Park wins it. But the race on the weekend's going to be perfect for him. There's a few vying for the lead. You've got Molly Ollie's Wishes, Botox Ass and Dashel Drasher that all like to race prominently. Paisley up for a nice run through, and we seen on the last day he's still got that turbo kick. When his third win kicks in, and no doubt he'll be running up the hill at the end. He just wins, just back him. He just wins it, yeah.
Back him in running.
Back him in the
agree.
floor, back him in running whenever you want.
I totally agree, John.
Back him in running, I think. That's what I'm going to keep an eye on this time, Alex.
I think the race is just going to be set up perfect for him.
Yeah.
Load up your bet fair, Alex.
I'll have it loaded, ready to go.
Jamie?
I'm Paisley Park's #1. I don't like him fan ever since he cost me an absolute fortune when Liz Nagar bloody Oscar beat him.
Same.
Right. I've never backed him since. To be honest with you, if you look, I know he was second to Champ at Newbury, right? And look, if he jumped the last two, he'd have won, right? But if you look back at the race at Kempton, obviously Kempton doesn't suit him, right? And he was miles behind, he stayed on. Goshen doesn't stay, and Champ is a 2.5 miler to win the entry hurdle. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, like, he stayed on against a horse that went too fast and then a non-stayer in Goshen. And now people fancy him for the stairs hurdle. He's absolutely no chance in the stairs hurdle. I don't understand these hot tipsters going on. He's the late meeting for me, Paisley Park, right? And you think I'm mad now, but I'm actually tipping a horse that I loved Paul Nichols, what he does with his horses, brings them back from chasing. He's the lowest rated horse. He needs to find £13 with
You're
Paisley
not
Park.
putting it
And that's
Gelino Bello.
Gelino Bello. Yes, I do.
Fuck
Oh,
me,
no.
Jamie.
Gelino Bello. The only reason I'm on
Expected
to
better from you. Fucking hell.
Gelino Bello is the
No, you
fact of the
don't.
matter is I'm still holding on to the fact that Blazing Cal runs in the Stairs Hurdle because it absolutely hammered him in a novice hurdle at Cheltenham last December. And the form with a horse that I like, a Ballygriffin Cottage. I like Ballygriffin Cottage as well.
I like him as
So,
well.
yeah, but Dashville Drescher, obviously, Botox will sit in behind Dashville Drescher and Molly's Ollie Wishes. They might go a scorching pace. Obviously, I think Paisley Park will be too far behind, so I'm going to go with Gelino Bello, and that's my tip for the race.
Very much, yeah. Gelino Bello.
Wow.
Katie.
Well, I think Gelino Bello think it's wise to go back over hurdles with him because he hasn't struck me as the most natural chaser. So yeah, he's got a better chance now back over hurdles. Paisley Park is the one to beat, but I have my doubts over him. He's been held up the last twice. He's often on and off the bridle. I just think it could be dangerous for him to let himself get too far back. So for that reason, I'm going to side with Dashville Drescher. I'm hoping they don't go a scorching pace, but I'm hoping he just gets into a nice rhythm out in front and is able to stay on up that hill. I don't think it will be easy for Paisley Park to make up that ground. As Jamie touched on, he's been chasing down Champ. Champ he's a decent stay over 2.5, but I think he stays on at one pace at this stage in his career. I don't think he has that turn of foot, and Paisley Park has just been able to show that speed to beat Champ. So yeah, that's the angle that I'm going for, is that Dashville Drescher can just get into a good rhythm and just be too difficult to peg back at the end, with Paisley Park being too far behind and with too much ground to make up. So yeah, fingers crossed for Dashville Drescher.
Hello, Ian.
I've got not much to add, to be honest. So I'll echo what Johnny said again. I think I do like Botox has, and he's a very good 11-1 each way price. So he's finished placed twice. I think he was second twice at Cheltenham over 3 miles. He definitely will stay the trip. I just think Paisley Park will do it. But I would possibly do what John said, maybe do the forecast or reverse forecast with them too. So yeah, Paisley Park for me and Botox each way.
You confused me then, sorry.
That's all right.
When you said,
I think Paisley Park will win.
I'm echoing what John said, and then you go for Paisley Park.
No, Johnny said about Paisley Park and Botox, didn't he? He thinks that those will be in the top two, and I agree with what you said. But I think Paisley Park will win. But Botox is the each way shout.
Thank you.
So do the forecast and reverse forecast.
So you're picking 2 in a 7-horse race. Alex,
And there's no Hendo horse.
I'm going to, same as Johnny, sticking with Botox has. That run in the Rocky Hurdle wasn't far enough, 2.5 miles. Before that this season, he was second at Cheltenham in that Temps qualifier. He actually beat who was going to be the Temps winner in Salvador Ziggy. So obviously that's going to be good form. And then obviously he won his next time out. So yeah, I'm sticking with Botox, same as Johnny. Get stuck in. GSI.
I just think they're all going to cut each other's throats at the front of the race. You've got Botox, Molly's Ollie Wishes, and Dashville Drescher are just going to cut each other's throats.
I like Dashville Drescher too, to be honest, but I'm not picking him for this.
And Cobden be sitting there on a good thing, jumped the last away you go.
Okay, that's that one done then. So Gelino Bello for Jamie, Dashville Drescher for Katie, Paisley Park for Matty and Ian, Botox has for Alex and John. Oh, Matty's gone again.
Bye, Matty.
So we're getting there. We're getting there. We just hit the hour mark. So and Ian, you are behaving. I've got to say, you've been very good tonight.
Thank you.
Hit the hour mark. So yes, right. Penultimate race of the day, 3:35. Ballymore Novices Hurdle, and I've got somebody who wants to go first. The man on the spot, Alex Galpin Deschamps. We can't wait to get into this one.
Yeah, I want a price for you, OJ, that you'll like. 25 to 1.
I know he's
I'm
going to say
sticking with Bonte. I love this horse. She was brilliant in her bumpers last year. She was brilliant in her bumper again this year as well. She finished second to Queen's Gamble, which, I mean, isn't terrible form, very good form. I think Queen's Gamble, to me, is probably the second best bumper horse around at the moment. And she had to give away to Queen's Gamble as well, and probably didn't get the best ride from Paddy that day either. Then she raced at Lingfield. Pretty much everything went wrong for her on her hurdles debut. She didn't jump great. She got a pretty poor ride again. I think Paddy pretty much gave up after the last, and then she suddenly picked up again and only finished sort of half a length behind the winner. I think the step up to 2.5 miles is going to really suit her, and I think she's well overpriced. She loves the course.
I like it. And you're going to go to Fergus in the morning.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see her there.
You're going to be
give her some magic carrots.
So no surprise there. Bonte 25 to 1. Oh, wonderful. Right, where are we going? Katie.
I'd side with Henry II here. Thought he was impressive at Sandown when winning the Grade 2 over 2.5 miles. He has to give weight away, but I think he could be capable of a lot of improvement. I doubt we've seen the best of him. Pembroke has obvious claims up in trip, and Rocked My Way was really good at the start of the month. He gave We've All Been Caught a bit of a fright at a big price, around 66 to 1 when he finished second at Cheltenham. But I think Henry II, he could have enough class to see him through here, and he'd be my pick.
Thank you very much. Where are we going? Who's looking awake here? We'll go to Matty before he leaves the room again.
I had to go then because I've had my phone on charger. I've not turned the fucker on at the wall. I like Blenkinsop in this. Second season novice. 3 runs over 2 miles between the 9th of Feb and the 8th of May in 2022. Come back this season. 4 runs since the 3rd of November to the 31st of December, over 2 mile 4 and 2 mile 5. Won every one of them. He's up to a highest rating now of 131. However, he seems to be progressing and he could be more to come over the trip. At 13 to 2, I'm going win only on him. He's had 9 races under rules and won 4 of them. I think it'll stand him in good stead. So, Blenkinsop.
Blenkinsop for Matty. Thank you, Matty. Ian.
I think Matty's read my notes. I'm going with Blenkinsop as well. Excuse me. What's But yeah, so what's swung it for me? See, his previous win was over Class 2, and so many others at Pembroke is the favourite. There's only 1 Class 4 races. I did look at what Katie said about Henry II is the only one that's been involved in a Class 1 race, but I think that the 11 stone 10 to £5 may be too much. But yeah, so what Matty said, I was going to say Pembroke then, Blenkinsop for me.
I'll change.
John?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going for one that Katie actually mentioned there, and that's Rock My Way, 11 to 2, I think he is. He was just behind, like she said, We've All Been Caught, who looks pretty good, to be fair, on his performances this season. And he wasn't really fancied that day. I think he went off at 66s. So, yeah, I thought he was quite good. I mean, if any of these are going to threaten actually in the Ballymore in March, they're going to have to be really good in this race, aren't they? Let's face it. I can't. Looking at it, I think there's none there that are going to be pushing for honours in March, to be honest with you. If you look at Rock My Way's P2P win, Ian, isn't it? P2P form. He was just 10 lengths behind a certain It's For Me last April, wasn't he? So, that's, we've all seen what he's come out and done. So, yeah, I think he might be better than what we think he is. So, hoping for a big performance from him. So, rock my way.
Rock my way. Thank you, John.
My way.
And Jamie, wrap it up.
I ditto what Alex says. I think Bonte is well overpriced. I am.
Come on, Bonte.
I'm all over Kings Gamble for the bumper. So Bonte for me, everything went wrong in Lingfield the last day. Given a complete suspect ride by Paddy Wrenn in the bumper at Cheltenham in November.
Yeah.
I suppose with the lads of Blake and Soft does have a chance because I'll get onto another horse in the next race, so I really fancy. Has a bit of a chance, improving all the time. But to me, I think she gets £7. Obviously, she's a mare. Bonte is well overpriced at 25 to 1. Loves the track, and that's a great bet each way. So it's Bonte.
Love it, Jamie. Love it.
You know what's going on here, boys?
With that comment, I don't know whether Jamie agrees with me. I don't know whether Jamie's going to agree with me in the last race now or not. That'll be a
I can
first.
stretch to a quid each way there on Bonte.
I'll let you go first, Matty, or will I steal your thunder?
No, you go, because I've got. We might be on the same wavelength. We might not.
I've got a sneak before we move on to the last one. Matty, you keep disappearing. I haven't finished on this race yet. I got a little sneaky feeling here. Can you call?
I wouldn't put you off.
Is this an OJ selection?
OJ's putting a selection.
Behind Fernie Hollow, and it's only had one run since.
Wow.
It could be hidden away there.
Can
You
you
never know.
call?
It's a Rutgers horse.
Wedgie.
Evan Williams, hasn't he?
Yeah, Rutgers. The purple and the blue. The Rutgers. Is it the
back to
Rutgers?
last.
Mr. and Mrs. William Rucker.
I had a good bet in him last day at Chepstow. Yeah, he posed up.
Sneaky feeling for that one. I got nothing, but there we go. Nobody wants to know about that shit. Right. Fantastic. So we're on to the last race of the day. 2 mile, 1 furlong, handicap hurdle. Jamie's already let the cat out the bag that he's got a nice fancy in here. So we're going to have to go start off over in Ireland.
This is my next best, lads, after nobody eats, and it's P-Car.
Yeah.
All day long. Has to be a good thing. Didn't get to run a race, obviously, behind Blake and Soft last day. You know, all the skeleton horses. I don't know what he was doing in the cello, and that horse he was on in the cello, and then holds up P-Car out the back and the ground was in tatters and just never put him into the race. I'm going back on the form that he won at Chepstow. I mean, look at the form. Beat Hull back, Master Chewy, Time for a Tune. They've all come out. Master Chewy's getting a handicap for a race probably at Cheltenham. Time for a Tune's one.
Bet for Hurdle.
Bet for Hurdle.
Master Chewy, Bet for Hurdle, then the county hurdle.
Yeah. But Hull back then went on to Haydock and beat Namian Lion, who was second to Timoris in the Tallworth. I mean, this horse, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. Oh my God, what a bet! And he's my next best. And get on. And if I lose all day, I'll lose again if P-Car doesn't win.
Confident. Noble Yates and P-Car double.
Yep.
Love it. Come on, Rayman, you're quiet tonight. We're going to let you have a bit of time here now.
Yeah.
You can let it all out. Come on.
I'm going for. I've lost my bloody notes now. Here we go. So I'm going for another Fergal horse. I'm going to go for punctuation. Paddy Brennan on board, carrying 10 stone 3. It's won his last 4 races, all in 2022, 2 this season. 1 last time out at Cheltenham, class 3, beating 2 friendly by 3 and 3/4 lengths. That's just caught my eye. Pure and quite a quick one for me, but yeah, I'll go with punctuation.
I give you the time and you don't take it. Never
I'm
mind.
sorry, mate.
Moving on, Alex, quick before it restarts.
Yeah, cool. I'd quite like a price here again, OJ. I know that's probably music to your ears. One that I think's well handicapped. bottom of the handicap pretty much. So off 10 stone 2, a horse called Malacana. She finished last season running 3 hurdles race in a row over 2 miles. One at Kempton, Newbury, and then Cheltenham in April. She then ran on the flat in the summer, finishing up by her last race. She actually won at Newmarket. She then reappeared over hurdles at Newbury at the end of November. Clipped heels halfway round. Didn't look like she stayed. It was actually a race over 2.5 miles. So dropping back down to 2 miles, which I think will really suit. Plus, I think she's progressive, unexposed, and bottom of the weights.
And Ian Williams' horses have been running well. Like it.
Happy to take a chance.
Thank you, Mr. Galpin. Matthew?
Yeah, I'm completely in agreement with Jamie. I've got written down here Qatar 6-1 for Dan Skelton. Obviously ran behind Blenkinsop, latest start over 2 mile 4. A bit strange as he's been kept 2 miles so far. He won the race before that at 125 when beating Hullenbach, 5 lengths, carrying 11 stone. He's at 129. He looks to be carrying a feather of 10 stone 3, which is helped by Jason the Militant being top weight at 12 stone. And I've just got Qatar 6-1 gift. That's all. That's the last little bit. So I'm quite glad Jamie's on the same wavelength as me.
Absolute gift.
Confident. John?
No point picking one. They've got the winner, haven't they?
Yeah, because I need to get a price.
Yeah. It's going down. I can see it now. It's 4s now, OJ.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going for another quite a solid pick in this one. It's another old favourite of mine, and that's Hacker de Place of Nichols. Again, he always runs his race. He's very, very rarely out of the places. He's won 4 times from 10 starts and a couple of seconds, couple of thirds. I think he's about 11-2. He was second last time to Highway 102 at Ascot, and he dropped £1 pound again. I think that he might be sort of something we might be looking at for the county, actually. So maybe I don't really want him to win this and ruin that mark, because I think it's quite a good mark. But he won a big handicap at Aintree as well at the Grand National meeting last year. I just think he's a good horse, and he just seems to improve with every start, really. So I quite like him. He's one of my best bets of the day.
Ooh. Some good bets coming out in this last race.
Massive ones, OJ.
Right, and to wrap up the day for us, Katie, tell the lads how it's done.
Well, I don't have too strong a fancy in this, if I'm honest. I didn't like any at the bigger prices. I can see Jamie's case for Picard. I think Picard has a decent chance. And also Ian's case for Punctuation. I think Punctuation is really interesting. Off a career high mark of 129. He's a very progressive horse. But the one I'm going to give another chance to off a mark of 142 is Mai Tai. I think his last run was just too much of a stamina test at Haydock on soft ground over an extended 3 miles. I think the drop back in trip should suit him. So, yeah, I'm going to take another chance on Mai Tai with Lorca Murta claiming 3 on board.
Thank you very much.
You haven't mentioned your horse, OJ.
It's not the day, is it? Not the day.
Well, Camprond
needs to lose a few pounds like myself here.
Come on, OJ, you love him.
You love it.
25 to 1, OJ. Come on, 50p each way.
Come on, OJ. Come on, make the case.
It's got to be an Alex special to get anything out of that. You know that. He needs to lose a couple of pounds, I reckon.
Wait until the Hobbs yard is in better form as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know what? Funny enough, I was looking the other day and I was thinking, God, they're not particularly in good form at the moment, but over a fair few years now, he's gone pretty quiet, hasn't he, Philip Hobbs?
Yeah.
Fair few years. The master trainer. It's a shame. But yeah, Camprond will be back one day soon. So yes, Diolch Katie, Mai Tai for Katie in the last, Hacker de Place for John, Punctuation for Ian, Malacana for Alex, Matty's going big on Pika, and Jamie was Nell's son. No, he wasn't. Pika,
Pika.
absolute good thing.
Good
Yeah.
10.
Gift, apparently.
A bloody
Right.
gift.
So there we go. That's all 9 races wrapped up in 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's not too bad. Muzzled Ian. Sorry, Ian,
Yeah.
you behaved. You're a very good boy. I'm sorry. I have to pick on someone.
Wait till the DRF next week.
Oh,
The redness normally fades away, but it's not happening. So yeah, 9 races, beautifully summarised by you all, especially by our 2 fantastic special guests, who we can only thank massively for joining us. But before we go any further, I'm going to go have a quick whip round. Bet of the day. I think Jamie's made his clear already. So go on, Jamie, selection of the day.
nobody else, lads.
Noble Yates for Jamie. Katie.
Oh, I'll go.
I'll come back to you if you want. I'll come back if you want.
We'll go Dash or Drasher for me.
Dash or Drasher for Katie. Alex is confidently sitting there nodding. He's got his ready.
Well, my bet of the day is using the code Exchange25 on Hacked Up Racing for 25% off.
Ooh, a lovely plug.
Thanks to Lloyd. But my bet of the day would be Bonte. 25 to 1. What a smashing bet.
25 to 1. Oh my God. I'm kidding. I'm robbing the kids' money, Joe. Ian's looking like he's ready.
An ergamine each way.
Good man.
No, comfort zone for me to win.
Comfort zone for the rain, man. Thank you, sir. John?
I was going to give comfort zone as well as my best, so
Do it.
I'll do a next best as well. Next best Hacker Des Plus in the last.
You can still have comfort zone as well.
Yeah. All right,
Down,
comfort zone
down.
next best Hacker Des Plus.
Good man. Matty, this is the most interested you've been in any of our recordings, so come on, you've got to give us a bet of the day here.
Nap is Picard. And I'll give a next best of Blenkinsop.
Wins.
Thank you very much. I didn't ask you for a next best, but thank you anyway.
You didn't, but I just thought I'd fucking give you one anyway, so shush.
Just like I did.
Right. On that note, my eyes are watering. And those of you who are off to Cheltenham on Saturday, enjoy yourselves, boys. And
Buy us a £7.50 pint of Guinness.
Oh. Shit Guinness.
Shit Guinness, yeah.
But yeah, should be a good day's racing, shouldn't it? To be perfectly honest, fingers crossed those frost covers do the trick. And yes, massive thank you to Jamie and Katie. I'm sure when the tweet goes out from Ian tonight that he'll probably forget to tag you in it, Jamie, but don't take it to heart. It's all a bit of fun. Thanks to Lloyd at Hacked Up Racing Gifts for the continued support. Alex has done the plug. And
Exchange 25% off.
Exchange 25% off. So yes, to our Gaelic brethren from Ireland, Mr. Wrenn, thank you very much. And to Ian and Alex from the rest of us, Tuchty Bob Sice. And thank you all for watching. Like, Dosta.